let's jump into BYU and Kansas State. It's not the biggest game on the slate this weekend. That's certainly Oklahoma State and Utah. I will get there next, but I'm not going to bury the lead. BYU has a legitimate shot to win this game. If you ask OddsShark, they have BYU winning this game by a final score of 28-26. The Cougars are playing at home, and there's one thing that I believe BYU has going for it that Kansas State won't exactly have an answer for, and that's the crowd. This is going to be the best atmosphere that Kansas State plays in maybe all season long. They have a couple of tough road games here, but they're going into a night game in Provo, and the biggest piece of that, you're going, well, they play at my school and we're going to be loud. That's probably the case, but will it be at 9:30 Central Time? For BYU, they're used to this. They've got elevation, they got night, they like playing on Fridays or Thursdays. Here you get a Saturday night game where BYU gets to be the star of the show. They're undefeated so far. The crowd's going to be rocking. It's going to be crazy, but it's not just that point that makes BYU so dangerous. I already had BYU +7 this week as a lock of the week, but what also makes BYU good is a balanced offensive attack. Kansas State doesn't exactly have that. They're going to lean on the ground game, and what BYU is going to do is force Avery Johnson to throw. And if Avery Johnson makes mistakes, BYU is going to take advantage. I read somewhere this week in an analysis of this game that BYU would make more mistakes and Kansas State would take advantage. No, the Cougars are at home. This isn't the part of the show where BYU comes out and they're the inexperienced ones. This is the part of the show where Avery Johnson looks around the crowd and goes, oh, this is kind of intimidating. This is not too lame anymore. Kansas State averages 167 passing yards this season to 244 rushing yards. They are built on the ground. However, they have a time of possession of 27 minutes and 30 seconds. So they're not dominating time of possession, and they're not dominating the passing game. And if you shut down the run and make Avery Johnson throw, as you know, every third throw is a mistake. And the BYU defense has been very, very solid. One thing that gives me a lot of confidence in BYU, and I wanted to lean on here, Kansas State's susceptibility to the pass. They allowed a lot of passing yards against Tulane. But one thing that I really want to highlight for BYU and Kansas State that gives the Cougars a great shot is the inability for Kansas State to have solid first halves. They were up to the first half, 14-7 going into the break against Arizona. They were down to Tulane, 20-10. This is a team that can close games out. BYU has shown you that same thing. They didn't have a flashy first half against Wyoming. They still closed it out. Against SMU, they played a complete football game. Against the Salukis of Southern Illinois, a complete football game. And in a case where BYU goes up 17-10 at halftime or 20-10 at halftime, in a case where BYU is within 7 points of this game, I agree with Chris Level, who picked BYU outright in this one. They've got a legit shot to win it. Is Kansas State good? Absolutely. Is Kansas State still a 9-win team? For sure. But BYU through the first 4 games is a very good football team. And I've got them winning this game in Provo, Utah, under the lights, shocking the conference. I gave you the reasons why. And another part is college football. That's just kind of the way that college football goes sometimes. And for BYU this week, they're going to be in a good spot at home against Kansas State. I like the Cougars outright, and I'm not that scared about it. Give me BYU. Oklahoma State and Utah this week. Have to love this matchup. It is a top 20 matchup. These two teams squaring off in Stillwater at 4 p.m. I would love top 15 matchup. I would love if this was a night game. They didn't get the nod. Fox has them at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Number 12 versus number 14. I'm taking Oklahoma State here. And I'm not that scared of taking Oklahoma State. Again, College Football Insiders gives the Cowboys a 60% chance of winning. They have the final score prediction of 29-26, Oklahoma State over Utah. And the money has shifted the line. The cappers, those who know the most about the insides of college football, they're all over Oklahoma State. One of the things I point to, Cam Rising being inconsistent. Is it his fault? No. I'm not blaming Cam Rising for Utah having a mundane start. You wouldn't say that Utah's had an all-star, unbelievable breakout start this season. Their 3-0 has had its rocky points because Cam Rising's been hurt. It's not his fault he keeps getting hurt, but he does. Utah this season, offensively, is 115th in the country on 3rd and 4th down success rate. Now, defensively, Oklahoma State's only 52nd in the country. That's not good, but it's better than 115th. Now, Utah, defensively, conversely, 17th in the nation on 3rd and 4th down success rates. Only allowing a first down on 3rd and 4th down 27% of the time. Oklahoma State, 36th in the nation offensively on third and fourth down. The way those stats line up in Stillwater, Oklahoma State has the advantage on late downs. When you're at home, when you're facing a team who has a quarterback who, you allowed 600 yards to Arkansas, but can Utah efficiently establish the run game? Can Utah give you 2022 Cam Rising? I can't say yes to those two things. Oklahoma State, Ollie Gordon in the fold, Alan Bowman at quarterback, at least doing his job, gets a win in Stillwater this weekend. Give me OSU. Let's go to Arizona State and Texas Tech. Another very interesting game this weekend. I've gone back and forth. I'm going to settle with the Red Raiders here. They're projected to win 29-28 by College Football Insiders. That's not a very large margin of victory there, and they're favored by Las Vegas by about 3 points, where the line is settled right now. Texas Tech, from a field position standpoint, defensively, 127th in the country. Their offense, their punting, their special teams is allowing the opposition to have very good field position, putting their defense in a tough spot. So some of their defensive numbers are a bit skewed. In this game facing Cam Scatterbo, I don't believe their defense is as bad as many expect. Now, are they good on third and fourth down? No. But I don't know if I can trust Sam Levitt and Arizona State's offense on third and fourth down. Cam Scatterbo's great, but on 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, the ball in Levitt's hands, I'm not exactly excited. And for Arizona State, their defense is 71st in the country on third and fourth down. Texas Tech's offense is 23rd in the country. This is going to be a high-scoring game because both these teams offensively are good on late downs. Defensively are bad on late downs. They can't close things out. These are two defenses I don't trust. Two offenses that have shown inconsistencies. Can Sam Levitt be that guy? I don't know. Scatterbo can. Taj Brooks can. Can Barron Morton be that guy? I still don't know. He was against North Texas. In this game, err on the side of the home team. Take Texas Tech in what I think will be a shootout, but if Arizona State wins, I won't be shocked. Houston and Cincinnati. I'm gonna reverse. I'm pivoting. I have seen at both OddsShark and College Football Insiders, they've got Houston projected to win this game by double digits at Cincinnati. And I'm going to struggle to go against the computer model. While earlier this week, I put it as one of my locks of the week because I had a gut feeling on Cincinnati. I'm coming off of that now and giving Houston the nod. Now, College Football Insiders, where OddsShark has Houston winning by like 18, Insiders has them winning by 1, and has this being a 24-23 game in favor of the Cougars on the road. Who's the better team? It's tough. Both of their numbers aren't very good, not shocking to you. And on third and fourth down success, here's where I like Houston. Their defense is 32nd in the country. They get off the field. Their offense needs a lot of help. It's not very good. But Cincinnati's defense in the second half particularly hasn't been great. Not stellar. I'm going to lean Houston here and Willie Fritz. Again, the turmoil with Scott Satterfield being definitely on the hot seat and the buyout being so large, that might be the only thing that keeps him in Cincinnati. I'm erring on the side of the Cougars right now, but again, a coin flip. Kansas and West Virginia. The battle of two teams that don't want to start with a record of 1-3. I'm going Kansas here. I have trusted Kansas against UNLV, which felt easy, right? I trusted Kansas against Illinois. They lost that game. Here they're projected to win by 4 points, 29-25 against West Virginia. Per College Football Insiders, they have a 62% chance of victory. Kansas offense has not been very good. Kansas defense has been solid. Again, their defensive field position ranking is 103rd in the country. Why? Their offense, their special teams is putting the defense in a tough spot, yet the defense is still very efficient. Top 50 in the country against the rush so far. They're at 55 against the drop back. If they're going to win at West Virginia, they're going to have to contain Garrett Green, contain the running attack of West Virginia. West Virginia, that honestly has been misused. I haven't seen coaching moves enough from West Virginia offensively, or really Kansas offensively, to say that this game should hit the over. Defensively, I'm going to err on the team that has the better defense, and that's the Kansas Jayhawks. That's the unit that's kept them in games this season. That's the unit that I think gives Kansas a slight edge on Saturday. Give me Kansas over West Virginia. Iowa State and Arkansas State. I do believe Arkansas State covers 21. They only lost to Michigan by 10. They got a very good offense. Iowa State's defense is good. Call this a low-scoring game. If it's 24-16, Iowa State wins. Wouldn't be shocked. Still a quality win because Arkansas State is not a bad team under Butch Jones. Iowa State wins it, not by 21 points. TCU at SMU. Love the Frogs here. Really love the Frogs here because SMU's offense is not good. If TCU ramps up the pressure, as they will, I was talking about it earlier, TCU doesn't care about SMU the way that SMU cares about the Horned Frogs. TCU's biggest rival is Baylor. Baylor's biggest rival is TCU. SMU, their biggest rival is TCU, and the Frogs wouldn't say the same. I'm loving Sonny Dykes in this spot in a game where if you lose, your job is certainly on the line. TCU projected to win 31-27 by College Football Insiders. It is the offense that has been so good. Running the football 41st in the country. That's good. Field position 17th. Their special teams, their defense, putting them in spots to win. And they're 6th in the nation on 3rd and 4th down success rate. That's right where I need you to be. The defense of TCU needs to show me more. I'm still not exactly worried. Some are worried about the TCU defense. You held UCF to 7 points through the first 35 minutes of last week's game. Then all hell broke loose. But hey, that first 35 minutes showed me that there are flashes to make you good.